Hello, welcome back to another AGHA podcast. Once again, like I mentioned before, I'm surprised I actually got this far. Dedication is not something I usually do. But, nice to know that I still have so many listeners. A good total of, what was it, 0? Yeah, big old fat 0. Lovely to know. Okay, so the case now is same time, 9 to 10, but once again, I have the house to myself. Well, excluding Alex and Freya, who are downstairs playing, well, whatever they want on the Xbox 360. They bring it down, they play it on the huge HD TV in our living room. Not really a bragging rights, just, well, we saved up the money. My dad's 62, 63 this year. Right, he's got a good long, life to save up money. I mean, if you were to save up all of your money and not spend anything unless it was essential all your life, then, I'll have a good number, good amount of money. Never really having to dad. Dad just, he did what he can. Very nice bloke. He does what he can. What he can. Forget. Anyway. So, it's nice. At the moment, Maria, my stepmom, is out in Bury at my college with my sibling, my stepsister Livy, who's only a year younger than me. Next year she's gonna go into college, which is nice. Probably doing music, something like that. Which is why she's out tonight with Maria. They've gone to see Cascade of the Decades, from what I recall, and one of the reasons I didn't go is because if you were following my college vlogs, you would know that I made a music video for Project 3, and of course Project 4 was a website design which I've just finished officially tonight. Anyway, I need to get a drink at some point. Well, of course I can't leave though, because I have nobody to keep an eye on the podcast whilst I'm gone, because a podcast isn't really a podcast without somebody talking. Anyway, so I did make that music video for some music students. That same music video is going to be presented on Cascade of the Decades. Now, if the band is there, and hopefully it is, they don't have to keep all of their attention on my music video, because the music video will be played muted in the background behind the band who are playing. Now, the song is in fact Last Resort by Papa Roach, which, if you know me well enough, you would know that I'm not a huge fan of that kind of dark. I want to find a better word than emo, maybe angsty teenage stuff. Just maybe gothic, emo stuff. My parents don't understand me. I'm not a fan of that kind of music. I prefer, for example, Jethro Tull, very good band. I enjoy listening to, what was it? Locomotive Breath and Aqualung, very good album as well, Aqualung. I listen to some Electric Light Orchestra as well in my spare time, or just every time I'm, every bus journey I have like an hour's journey here and back to college. But, thanks to recording and uploading these podcasts in the mornings, I listen to the podcast. See, my editing schedule routine goes that now from 9 to 10 I record the podcast, and then when I finished it, I immediately open up a template which I've already had ready in Movie Maker, and that's just the picture you usually see, copy and paste it again and again and again, because for the life of me I can't find the button which just extends the length of the same clip that I usually use, which is again, it's annoying. So after doing that, usually I open up the last file I used from the last podcast. I delete the recording from before, and I put in a new one. Now, of course, I'm going to need to check out how long the pictures run for, because apparently one image on Movie Maker will, so on my Movie Maker, which one is it called? Hang on, let me just, Movie Maker. No, it's just called Movie Maker for me, which which helps. It's much more simpler just calling it Movie Maker. Anyway, yeah, each image lasts 7 seconds, so I had to copy and paste it again and again and again to get an hour and something seconds, so it fits the recording. Because if I put in the audio, it doesn't last longer than the image. You know how long the images go. So if I had one image, 7 seconds, then the footage will be cut to 7 seconds, and I have to delete it and do it all over again. So that's what happens. And because it's an hour long, or just hour and couple of seconds long podcast, I've no idea if you can hear the piano playing downstairs. My God, it's disruptive. I hate it. Yeah, I'm recording in the bedroom again. I mean, my little sister Freya, she's a bit hyperactive tonight, so I hope she doesn't come up here and start pissing about and screaming, because she's been doing that all night, playing Call of Duty and Halo Reach. It's just, it's difficult to think when she's around. I mean, mainly just when she plays video games with Alex. Of course, Alex is down there as well. Anyway, so yeah, because it's an hour-long podcast, or a couple of seconds, yeah, hour-long podcast, it takes a very long time to render. So because usually if I have college in the morning, I go to sleep at 10, I just leave the recording, the file to render and export, so I can upload it in the morning. So I leave my laptop a little bit open. I'm not sure if I should close it when it's rendering, because I'm afraid of it's going to ruin the rendering, and I wake up in the morning and I realise, oh shit, it hasn't rendered properly, or exported into this file. So I think it's exports to an MPEG. I'll just click Windows 8 1080p. I mean, it doesn't give you a lot of options, Movie Maker, compared to what was it? Premiere Pro, Adobe. Again, I think somebody suggested to me I could find a tutorial online called Premiere Pro Busted, or Photoshop Busted, and you just go into the file, delete something, and put in a new file, and it takes out the trial, and you just have it forever. Which, in my case, that would be really useful. But who knows? Maybe I'll get round to it during the Easter holidays, which, might I just say, I don't have college on Thursday, which is something I usually do. I go in for college Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and it's nice, very nice. I mean, it's annoying when usually I try and take a shower every other day. So if I have a shower Sunday, I'll have another one Tuesday. However, if I've got something important the next day, I'm gonna need to take another shower again. So I'll take a shower on Sunday in the night, so I'm ready for college on Monday. But when I get back on Monday, I'll take another shower so I can go and squeaky clean, or whatever the fuck kind of terminology you want to use, for Tuesday. Then I don't have to shower until Wednesday. So at least Thursday is free. But Wednesday, I've got to take another shower for Thursday. And then I can stop if I want to. But now I can go back to the daily routine, which is every other day, which is very nice. Had a shower this morning, all that stuff. Had a shave. My parents keep telling me, shave, a lot of people will like you, or girls will comment you or whatever, which it's never happened to me. Probably because of my beard of acne I mentioned before. I don't really have the most pleasing complexion to look at. I mean, I'm not butt ugly, so I'm at least thankful for that. I don't have buck teeth or a huge nose. I'm pretty good at that. Yeah. I don't look like I think I'm going to stop there, actually, because I'm going to be going overboard if I keep talking about looks. Hey, what? Sorry, I'm listening to downstairs and Alex is screaming that he's on fire. What? Hey, um, he doesn't care. What? I I feel like I should go downstairs, but this is a podcast. I'm the only guy here, and I don't want to leave the microphone. Then again, Alex is set ablaze by the sound of it. I mean, it's just a game. Then again, if you're in a car and you scream and you're like, "Oh, I lost at Flappy Birds" or some shit. Who the fuck still plays Flappy Birds? I don't know. Whoever still has it. I think my sister Olivia was bragging about how she had Flappy Birds on her phone, and years from now she can sell it and she'll be set for life, something like that. Because this other guy sold his phone with Flappy Birds on because they took down Flappy Birds for about a couple million, something like that. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. But I've heard of worse. I think somebody probably tried to sell on eBay Justin Bieber's pubes or hair or something like that, and it makes me question the quality of evolution at this point. That sort of thing. And I'll talk about that in a moment. What else did I want to talk about? Well, I'm not very proud of that music video thing. I think it's kind of shit because there's so much more I wanted to do, but because I was working with clients that I had to film, it really got in the way when most of the time they were busy and I couldn't film them. So it was very last minute. It was very on the clock. I had this much time left before it had to be in. So which is it's a huge difference from what's going on now with Project 5. I've already talked about it before. I'm doing the Easter holidays now. I am, despite how it's clearly not the Easter holidays, I've got no other days in college, so I might as well start my holiday now officially. Anyway, so day I'm recording this, it's a Wednesday. I had the entire day at home. It's very nice. All that stuff. Alex was ill as well, so I spent the day with him. Alex was looking for. Oh no, he wasn't looking for anything. He destroyed some of the planks under his bed because they were broken, and he wanted to fix his bed. Once he finished that though, I don't know. He dug around underneath his bed for a bit. He found our TV remote, which is something, and I wanted to see if I can plug up one of our Xbox controllers, preferably the one with the wire built into it, to play a game on my laptop. I'm not gonna hide anything. The game's Minecraft. I got bored, and Dad and Alex wanted to play the game with me. He's not crazy on it. Lately, he's been playing Transport Tycoon, which I haven't played in a very long time. And by long time, I mean when I was in the high school, which was a year ago, which was very nice. Anyway, I've got a friend, Graham, very nice guy. Got a long beard. Looks like Jesus. In fact, that's his nickname. And I swear, if you put a turban on him, he'll look like a Western version of Osama bin Laden. Anyway, oh my god. But very nice guy. I was talking about before the entire synopsis last night about Project 5 and the story. And one of the jokes was, I mentioned Alex would pick up a Necronomicon, which has changed now. He's not going to pick up a Necronomicon in the evil library anymore. Instead, he's going to pick up a book called Summoning for Dummies, which is a bestseller book from Satan. And my idea was to get my friend Graham in, and because of his beard, I'm going to stick some horns in him, Photoshop his skin red, and have him showcase his book on a cardboard stand-up. Now, today I've been doing lots of research on it. I know I could do everything. I thought, in fact, that I could do absolutely everything up until the stand-up, because apparently the stand-up I want is, oh my god, it's so expensive to get that sort of stuff. So my plan is to, this is going to sound really stupid and shit, but the idea I want is to print out the entire stand-up in A4s and possibly A3 if I get permission from the high school. Of course, I'm gonna be doing this after the Easter holidays because all the Easter holidays I want to get all my pre-production work done so I can get on top of filming and stuff absurdly quickly because I have a lot I want to do, and just having to have finished my research and my pitch and my pre-production work would be so much help to me. Anyway, so I mentioned cardboard cutouts. It's incredibly difficult to buy them for cheap. So despite how it's just cardboard cut out with a print on it, it costs so much money, up to the 100 sometimes, maybe 60 something. It's difficult to get your hands on them. If I wanted it tall and stuff, I wanted it to be as tall as like 7 foot or something, which of course I was actually thinking earlier today about if I actually did get this stand up, which I've got another plan, which is to get, say, a cardboard box that had a fridge in it. See if one of my friends on Facebook or one of my parents' adult friends have got a new fridge and they've got a spare box. I want to see if I can get the box from them and use cardboard from that and build my own stand-up. Now I mentioned what I was thinking about was if I did actually have the stand-up of my friend Graham dressed up as Satan showcasing a book called Summoning for Dummies. I'm also looking into how I should redesign and parodize the for Dummies dummy character and make him look more demonic, but also relatively the same. Because, like I said, I want to make a complete parody of it. Anyway, but my thoughts were if I did have the stand up of Satan and all that, I was thinking to myself, when I finished with it, what next? And I thought to myself, why don't I just keep it? It'd be a good conversation starter if I had a friend around and they came around and they found Satan with a book, that says bestseller, and they ask, Henry, why do you have a stand-up of the devil with a book in your bedroom? And I'm just going to keep it as AGHA Productions memorabilia, much like how was it H3H3 on YouTube? I don't follow him, but I follow Cynical lately, which very funny, very very funny. I have lots of fun listening to his videos. And H3H3 apparently sold his beanie for billions and millions of dollars or pounds on eBay. And this brings me back to the Justin Bieber pube story, or just regular hair. I can't remember which it was. And I've never actually realised until that kind of moment, which it happens more than often, when I realise this is the human race. This is where evolution has taken us, to idiots on the internet, weeaboos and all that stuff. To be honest, I've got nothing at all against things. I mean, if I were to say it's weird and strange, it wouldn't even be in a negative way. I mean, if people are actually listening, there's probably going to be some kid out there who's never going to actually listen to a word I'm saying and start going apeshit in the comments and saying, you're just being nasty, and they're probably going to use a stupid word like racist to bronies or furries. It's just, you think they're horrible. No, I don't think that at all. What I think is that it's no lie, it is strange. You can't really take that out of context. You have people, they've evolved from monkeys, sure, and they've become more and more advanced as a society, and that's the thing. We've become more advanced as a society, and then the internet comes along, and everybody can post their opinions no matter what. So you have, it's just like I said, as a society, we're getting to that point where we're almost becoming a flawless sort of society in Britain or America, despite how we have little things like racism, terrorism, and then there's the internet as well. You have things like weeaboos and Minecraft fans, and you have people dressing up like idiots, and the best word is, it's cringe-worthy. Very much cringe. Cringe? saying it like it has a W. That's one problem with me. I always have R's and W problems sometimes. It's something I've been trying to work on, but it's not going away for me. And, anyway, it's it's how we've evolved from Stone Age to the Bronze Age, all that stuff. We've invented video games, which are amazing, and then there's fandoms which just they don't really push us back as a species, but they really do. They drain all the meaning of the human race being an advanced species. And when you think advanced, you think if you're that advanced as yourself, you're probably going to imagine possibly the clouds thing from Rick and Morty, or I think it's new. There was that new Futurama episode. It's probably very old, but the Futurama episode about evolution and robot evolution, and how the robots in about 3 days, which is much longer for them, they become spectral or mental beings who that's advanced to me. That's very advanced. And other people who don't really think of that, they'll think of advanced robots, things like that. Just something extremely the pinnacle of evolution. But if you use advanced in the context of humanity now, modern society, it's not particularly it's not what you think of advanced. It's more I guess the word I could use is special. It's special in our own little way, in our own fantastical way. We've become Disney, I guess. We have people out there who are the sort of bully stereotypes. You have people out there who are the what's what I'm looking for? Probably the stereotype who's not accepted. So you have people like angsty teenagers and things like that. And I know there was one person who Pyrocynical made a video about him. To be honest, at first, on seeing the thumbnail, I thought it was a girl. I mean, Jesus Christ. What was it called? Was it Evil Kid? No, sorry, it was Savage Kid Returns, something like that. And you watch this video and you think, my God, these kind of people exist. You'd think, if you look back to Victorian times or Georgian times, you would imagine a sophisticated, upper class, and very smart kind of society. The people who respect one another. They have great respect in themselves as well. They do what they can to be presentable, polite, gentleman or ladylike. Of course, we have a bit more of a advanced society from then, because back then it was very wives stay at home and husbands go to work and bring in the money. Of course, we don't really have that stereotype anymore, and of course they have the vote and all that stuff. That's what I mean. Since Victorian times and much older, the human race has actually evolved as a society, and it's the community is much more diverse. We're much more tolerable. But then there's screw-ups who just like to fuck everything up. There's terrorists. Of course, there's a lot of controversial stuff going on at the moment. So I'm gonna leave it at terrorism. Who just anybody really who terrorize people for their ideology, such as when a complete idiot from America who claims to be pro-life killed a load of people at the abortion clinic. And of course, this still doesn't make sense. Abortion clinic, yes, but you can't be pro-life if you go in and cause a mass shooting. You can't kill people and consider yourself pro-life, much like how if you had terrorists who claim to be Muslims, they're not Muslims, because Muslim, or what was it called, Islamic? I'm trying to remember the name of the religion. I don't know. I'll just use Muslims for the moment. Muslims are actually very peaceful, tolerable, and kind people. And of course, terrorists who blow up shit, that's not very peaceful, is it? It's, that kind of stuff does not make sense. That means they are not a Muslim. You can't claim to be something when you're clearly not. Of course, this is one of the societies where you could, be transgender, stuff like that. You can become something that you're not. Of course, the same way, I guess, as becoming, say Robin Hood in a play, but taking it a step further, get prosthetics or whatever. But there was another video, was it Cold Humor? It was trans everything, which of course it does sort of prove my point. A lot of people take transformative the wrong way, and they just take the fucking piss. There's that one person from the sketch who said, "I am a trans Pac-Man," and their face was coloured yellow, and they were holding cherries in front of them whilst they were walking. And it's something like that which makes you... It's cringeworthy, much like somebody who calls himself a weeaboo and stuff. I have nothing against it. It's fine. They can do whatever the fuck they like. I don't care. But it's still strange, and it does make the human race seem a bit more pathetic. How we have had a sophisticated society since, like I said, the Victorian age. Not saying we should go back to that, but even back then they had standards. While now, dignity has been draining so much down the plug hole thanks to the internet. The internet has made multiple cesspools everywhere. Now, again, I've got nothing against these kind of people or the internet. It's a great invention. It really does make sense. It's useful. It's a great source of information. But it's these kinds of people who find their way to the internet, and there's no way to stop them. Again, nothing wrong with them. But finding out that these people exist, if these kinds of people were in, if we had a fairy tale sort of thing, then, and where obviously the internet doesn't exist, then in order to find these people, it would be the equivalent in a fairy tale book to finding a goblin in a particular part of the dark mystical forest. And you think, and you find yourself wondering, wow, this is real? Wow, I'm fascinated. Or disgusted, or just weirded out in general if you find a goblin there, which of course is my equivalent, or a metaphor for, brony or anything. It's stuff like that. Again, nothing against it, I've said that way too many times, but of course, you can't be too careful with the internet, where everybody has, I'm looking for some good description for it, but in general, you find idiots, you find, children who don't know what they're talking about, you find people who never think anything through, but then you rarely find, such as myself. I'm not trying to really boast, it's just I try my best to put a lot of thought in what I say, and things like that. I mean, a lot of people can make the same mistake. I mean, I can make the same mistake. I think I made the same mistake once, or a couple of times, because that's what happens when you're younger. I mean, you don't learn that light bulbs are very hot without touching it, and that's what happened to me. I had a bit of a burn when I was 6. Wasn't very nice. Desk lamps, it's lethal sometimes. And you don't learn without experiencing it at least once. They don't put up rules like don't, run by the pool at a swimming pool without context. Obviously somebody before has ran by a pool, slipped over, cracked their head open, probably sued the public swimming pool up the ass for it. But, well, obviously not the person who died, but, somebody else. Things like that. It's live and learn, that sort of thing. But of course, you still have these kinds of problems that still arise. And the point is, the human race has kind of lost their standards, and they're not particularly, well, not particularly human anymore. For what I remember, what it means to be human is to be empathetic of others. It means have standards. As a race, we should all be tolerable of each other. We're all the same species. I mean, cats and dogs, they do what they want. They're not as high intelligence as us. I mean, we're pretty high in intelligence. We have the highest IQ on the planet. I mean, I think second place is either a dog or dolphin or whatever it was, monkeys. I mean, we found out about the Big Bang Theory. We're looking into the Hadron Collider or Hadron Collider, however you pronounce it. And it's just from hearing those sorts of accomplishments, the human race has it's made huge achievements in science, and we all know we are very intelligent, but of course that's sort of the special sparks in the international or global gene pool of the human race, because you can find some people who are as sick as shit, and they push they push humanity back a good. Actually, come to think of it, there's no other age I can think of which has idiocy like our age. I mean, I've thought about it before, about how our age or our generation will be remembered. I mean, everybody remembers the 80s and 90s. They had weird commercials, they had odd things going around, but in general, a lot of people had a very, very happy childhood. And, as a childhood, the 80s and 90s were the pinnacle of living standards, things like that, I guess, for modern children. Modern childhoods can modern childhoods will find the 80s and 90s to be the best. If you have wanted a childhood who was that was younger than that, I'd say being born in the 50s. I think growing up in the 50s is a really nice experience as well. It's not all techy, it's very simple and minimalistic, and it's something, it makes you really appreciate what the human race had and what the planet had before everything just fucked up when technology and started getting introduced. Not that video games are bad, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't be one of those people who say they cause mass shootings. Clearly they do not. I really don't care about that stuff. It's very simple. They're not made to train children to fight, to kill other people. They're there for amusement. And it's the same way how puzzles are made for amusement. I mean, if a child picks up a puzzle piece and chokes it, you're not going to say puzzle pieces or just jigsaws in general are the spawn of fucking Satan, will you? That kind of stuff, it's ridiculous. And there's people like that who, once again, they make the human race look like such a stupid race or species to be associated with. And come to think of it, don't call me weird or anything like that, because I'm not one to believe in that sort of stuff, or be I'm not one for skepticalism or anything like that. But if aliens, yes, I said aliens, the most ridiculous thing you could say. If you are intelligent, if you were to bring up aliens with Stephen Fry, he'd probably look like you're somehow mentally deficient, or even worse. Probably insane. You're insane. At the moment, retards and stuff like that is pretty controversial, but insane, that's a common expression. Anyway, but if aliens were to exist, and I'm not saying they don't exist, or they generally do, but of course, as far as we're concerned, the universe is infinitely expandable. Yeah. I think my personal theory is if you played Pac-Man, you know, if you go from left to right, you'll go into a tunnel and it'll end up on the other side. That's how I would imagine the universe works. It's infinite because if you keep going in one direction, you'll end up stopping on the other side to planet Earth where you started. And that's what I think. I think somehow you're infinitely looping everything. So yeah, something stupid like that. It's if you don't think that Japan or the west sides of America is where the world ends, just keep going left and you'll end up reaching China from what was it? New York? No, that's on the east side, isn't it? I don't care. Anyway, but if aliens were to exist, and we just haven't seen them because they're keeping their distance. They don't want to be found. Maybe it's not that they don't want to be found if they were keeping an eye on us. Probably because they found out how we have evolved, and they're thinking, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm leaving. I don't want to have anything to do with them. Clearly, we're going to have wars brewing if we make contact with them. Donald Trump, if he becomes president, or maybe it ultimately will be. He's probably gonna say, sends the Trump nuke at them, my Trump card, and everybody's gonna fucking hate him forever. Or not, who knows? I don't see humanity going down a very good path unless somebody actually stands up and pulls their shit together, because we can't keep going on like this. I don't think the planet will last much longer if we keep on doing shit like this over and over again. People lying, people being racist. It's got to stop. It's really just it's like a bad joke which hasn't ended yet. It was funny, well, never, but we had a war about it. Fucking Nazis killing Jews. I think we've learnt enough. And I think we've grown as a species to know that bombing and stuff, that's never going to be the answer. It's simple enough. It's not going to solve anything. There's nothing else you could really put into context. It's way too advanced for that. Despite how we have people dressing up as animals and spawning stereotypes that these people dressed as animals are having sex with each other all the time. Called yiffing, I believe. And for God's sakes, I'm a teenager with a laptop. Don't think that I watch that sort of stuff. I'm a teenager with a laptop. I'm going to be able to find out anything I want. So, I'd never be surprised if I find or even mention terminology like that. I just know it. It's the internet. You'll find anything. Turmoil will always be around. Anyway, I think I've talked about enough. It's been a good 20 odd minutes, about half an hour of rambling about how humanity is now, well, it's not really very interesting anymore. We can do amazing things, but if we feel like it, it's not really going to get any better from here. Like I said, if people were to look back and think of us as a generation, much like how we look back at the 50s or the 80s and 90s, or even probably the 30s, gangster films, anything like that. Maybe we'll look back and think about the old Rocky films, like how we would look back at that generation. If some people in the future were to look back at our generation, I think we're going to be the least interesting generation that ever walked upon this earth, just full of fucking idiots and internet memes. All that stuff. I believe that all of this internet shit, it's going to overshadow all the accomplishments. The Hadron Collider, how iPhone has evolved, how the iMac has evolved, how computers have evolved, how robotics have evolved. All of it forgotten thanks to fucking lol troll memes, maybe Pepe Frog, whatever. Internet jokes, YouTube. nobody's going to remember us as, the great and advanced modern generation of society. They're going to think of us as just weirdos in costumes, being idiots, probably, just stuck in our own worlds, think about the 80s and 90s, nostalgia everywhere. We're not going to be memorable at all. Everybody's going to think we're complete idiots. They're going to be going around in their actual flying cars, that solar powered, or they run on water. They're going to fix the entire planet. They've probably populated Mars and all kinds of other planets. We're thick as shit. We've got nothing to offer. Obviously we contributed, but we're just a footnote compared to whatever's coming in the future. Anyway, I think that's enough. What to talk about now? I've been talking for about 41 minutes now. I don't think I need to go through that again. Anyway, I guess I could possibly call Alex. Could call Alex. Maybe in a moment. Maybe in a moment I'll go down. I'll call Alex. I'll bring him down. And I'll have some fun. Actually, should I bother? Should I bother? Is anybody going to listen to me? No, because I'm on my own. On my own, nothing else going on. Hang on, I'm just going to plug something in. Actually, you know what? Here's something I haven't done before. Hang on, Mo. Okay. I am going to go down. I'm going to quickly... hang on. I'm going to quickly see if Alex wants to join me. And I'll see you in a moment. Stand by. Okay, so, hang on. Alright, so, oh, fuck's sake, hang on. Okay, there we go, I'm back again. Okay, sorry about that. Oh god, it's about a minute, maybe more, who knows. Unfortunately, I could not get Alex or Freya. They're both killing each other or playing Halo Reach campaigns, something like that at the moment. But, the least that I asked them for was to give me a topic, because again I have been talking to myself for the past 3/4 of an hour, something like that, almost 3/4 of an hour. I mean, I could have left you waiting for a bit longer whilst I get myself a drink, but for the sake of entertainment, well, let me catch my breath. Sorry. Anyway, that's a lot better. Yes, that was the shitest waiting music that I could have shown you. So what that was the Me Channel theme, of course, and I promise next time I do something like this, make you wait for a bit to put on some waiting music, I'll use the same music, but I'll put it in the higher quality, and that's I'll do that for you next time, instead of leaving the microphone in front of a mini amp and playing it. I honestly wonder what it sounds like. It's probably going to sound like complete shit. So this was around 43 something, 42 something. Yeah, I'll check out the recording later. Anyway, so I asked for a topic because they couldn't join me, unfortunately. So they told me to talk about music. So I guess I could talk about. Now, I did touch on it earlier, but I guess I could talk about for the last quarter of an hour or something like that about. Excuse me. About my favourite kind of music. And well, I've got my own favourite kinds of music, and I've got music I kind of hate or loathe or despise. Oh my god, despise is a pretty harsh word for something I don't like. Anyway, but I guess I could tell you about one band I've actually um, bought stuff from, and that band would be Gorillaz, who I believe they're coming out with a new album in September. So I'm looking forward to that. So now, for me, the history behind me and the Gorillaz is when I was in college, probably about year 9, somebody called Billy, very nice guy, Billy, big shout outs there, really nice guy, one of my friends, and he came to my high school, and because I did something really stupid at the beginning of high school, what I did was in year 7, this is going to be grade 7 for people in America, but I have high doubts that anybody from America is going to be listening to my podcast at the moment or even later. But I thought, maybe some people who knew my sisters, Jenny and Vicky, who also went to the same high school as Hartsmere High School. It's a nice place, academy, all that stuff. It's in I. They I thought, hang around the sixth formers who are, it's pretty much year 12 after year 11, which is the GCSEs, or it is called year 12s as well. And I thought, maybe if I hang around, they will say, it's Henry, what's so and so's little brother or whatever, and they're going to be very nice. Of course, this will make no sense because there's a good age gap between me and my sisters. At the moment, I'm 17 when I'm recording this, and my sisters are about 20 something, so there's a huge gap between us in age, which meant that all my efforts were in vain. And because during the first month or couple of weeks I was at the high school, I didn't spend any of my time trying to get to know my new classmates better, despite how previously I had gone to 3 primary schools because I was Aspergic and I got bullied a bit. First one was Wortham, the next one was Palgrave, and the third one, which I really enjoyed, but I was only there for the last year and a half, which was about halfway through year 5 to year 6, was Withingset, and I really enjoyed Withingset because it's counted for my special needs, and they're very nice people there. Whilst there were people at the other primary schools who they were total asses. I really didn't like it at either of those places. Anyway, but there were people who remembered me. Thankfully, the one thing that never came back was I was in primary school at Wortham, and they came up with a nickname for me, Henry Appleskins. Personally, I have no idea what the fuck anybody had against me at all. I had no idea. I didn't know if anybody just disliked me for something I did, or if anybody, had a thing or a grudge against me. I had no idea, and there were people calling me Harry Appleskins. I was Harry at the time. It's a long story, but I'll explain that if I have some extra time. But some of those people from Wortham, Palgrave, not Withingset, that was further down towards Ipswich, but some of those students went to Hartsmere as well, so I ended up seeing all my old buddies. So thankfully none of them remember me from none of them remembered the names it called me, but they remembered me as the weirdo. Not a lot of people really liked me a whole lot. Of course, there were new people like Gemma, I think Jack, I'm talking about Breeze now. Very talented pianist, might I just say. And I haven't seen them in a while, actually. I'll see if I can get back in contact with them. Yeah, maybe sizzle up for a drink somewhere, catch up, something like that. Actually, if you're listening to this, Jack, just want to say hi. Also, please answer your fucking Facebook. I've mentioned before that of all things, despite how often my friends or people I know go on their phones, if I try and contact them on Facebook, either they purposely ignore me depending on the person. I've started a new Facebook account a couple of years ago just to try and clean things up because my original one was overcluttered with friends who weren't really friends. Probably thanks to this controversial thing I did a while ago. Nothing serious, just played harmonica and busked a little bit without realising it. Earned to be named Harmonica Henry. Yes, this was after the name change, which was during Palgrave, from Harry to Henry. Anyway, it's if I want to get in contact with anybody on Facebook, a lot of the time they don't get in contact with me at all, despite how often they're on their phones. And for the life of me, I still haven't figured out why, despite how long they spend on their phones. Oh, excuse me. Jesus, that's a thing with doing live podcasts. Podcasts, it just comes up with, it records everything. So I put in minimal effort into editing. Anyway, but it's odd. The amount of time they spend on the phones, yet they never answer me on Facebook, and I don't know what the hell they're doing. Is it just coincidence that every time I message them, they're always busy, or it's something strange. It's I've tried to figure it out for a long time. Anyway, what was I trying to talk about? Fuck. So I was talking about sixth form stuff, and so the thing with I never really talked about Billy enough. So not a lot of people really thought of me as a nice guy, and I didn't take my opportunity with a clean slate. But when Billy came around to doing year 9, I took it as an opportunity to start anew, and I started talking to him. Apparently, he also enjoyed it, Godzilla. I mean, I think I enjoyed Godzilla a bit more because I bothered to get little knickknacks here and there. I mean, I've got a copy of the original Godzilla movie, thanks to British Film Institute, and a copy of, well, a Polish copy actually of Godzilla Final Wars, which has English dubbing, which is very nice. I also managed to find one of those bootleg 1970s Godzilla characters. The ones that are spray painted red, and the spines are more resembled to the spines from the 1998 Zilla movie, which of course was shit. But apparently I got that figure for £2.50 at a car boot sale, and there's one of them which is selling on eBay for 25 quid. So that was pretty good. I did explain to the person selling them, this is a bootleg Godzilla toy. I told her about it. Everything else she had was just dinosaurs, which is fine, but things which resemble Godzilla do make their way into different series, that sort of thing, such as Ultraman with I like to call him Lettuce Godzilla because of his weird neck brace. And anyway, I got to know Billy, and apparently he enjoyed something called Gorillas, sorry. And I thought, well, I've never actually got interested in my own band, that sort of thing. My sister Livy, she listens to Blackfield Brides, or whatever it's called, and things like that. And she used to like One Direction, but of course, since they were found getting high in a car that one time, I don't believe they did again, but after that, God, she was heartbroken. Despite how I think, well, come on, I think if you are, a teenager or something like that, if you were to get high at least once, that's fine. That's going to happen. But if you make it an addicting process, then, well, that's somebody to look down upon, that sort of thing. So I feel like Livy overreacted a little bit, but not a whole lot. She got rid of her posters, stuff like that. And yeah, still remained angsty as a teenager. She's been getting better. Shouldn't really gossip though. I'm gonna stop gossiping about her for the moment. But yeah, one of the things I've always wondered throughout my life, come to think of it with music, the song I remember at the earliest part of my life was what was it? Green Onions. It's either the band or a song. I can't remember which. But yeah, that's the song title I remember a long time ago. I remember enjoying the music, and Dad told me, yeah, it's Green Onions. Excuse me. And I've remembered that for years. I was 4, something like that. Anyway, I also remembered how my sisters Jenny and Vicky, they would watch music videos on MTV, and I remember Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. Except I didn't know it as Feel Good Inc. I just remembered it as a song where there was somebody going and it was animated and someone was looking out the window, and I couldn't. It was fuzzy, so I actually thought I saw a van. I was probably mixing it up with Dirty Harry as well somehow. A van driving along a desert, which I, mistook the clouds for in my memories. So what I remembered was before finding out, oh, it's Feel Good Inc. and Dirty Harry was in my head. It was the Feel Good Inc. building, but only the part above the clouds, and the clouds was a desert, and there was the car from Dirty Harry, or the van, driving along the sand, and that's actually what I had in my mind for years. And there was, the part stuck in my head as well, and I thought, what song is that has the moaning in it? And apparently, it's 2D or 3D, whatever his name was, from the band. He was saying "Feel Good," and that's the interesting thing. I think that's one of the reasons that I listen to Gorillaz, because of how it's associated with one of the many mysteries I've had in my life. I mean, this one mystery which I'm pretty sure I will never solve, and that's if you've gone to Destin in Norfolk, you'll find that it's a nice place. You can look around it, but essentially you can run into some idiots. Maybe some people who will speed, some people who will be idiots in a supermarket. They'll probably push you out the way, or waste past you to get something which was on offer, or the last thing there. Just doing something stupid, stuff like that. I mean, I really hate being stereotypical or pointing things out, but I've only found these kinds of people in Norfolk. I never want to singly expose an entire kind of community, but I've only found nasty people in Norfolk. Not everyone is. It's just I found the least pleasant people to be from Norfolk. Anyway, they had a monster's place there, and I was very young. I was climbing up. It's weird. It's like a ladder. Imagine from the side, you can see different corrugated platforms. You would climb up one of them. It's a bit diagonal, but you can climb up it. You can easily slip down again, and then you would turn around and you would jump up onto the next corrugated platform, and you come up that slided bit, and then you go vice versa. And it would also work as a ping pong or a marble sort of game. You drop it on top, and it starts moving from side to side, zigzagging. And I was up to the top, and somebody just straight up kicked me in the face. Never saw it. I was crying. I couldn't do anything because it hurt quite a bit, and I was sliding down side to side. And of course, I'll never ever find out who had kicked me, because once I stopped crying and I was feeling better. Plus, I was wearing glasses. I mean, imagine being kicked in the face with quite a bit of force. And it was actually, I think they were wearing shoes as well, which shouldn't be allowed. As far as I'm concerned, you take your shoes off before you go into Monsters. Monsters is one of those play places. I think there's one in Cornwall as well, near Charlestown, called Ben's Playworld, and I remember that from when I was young, a very long time ago. But it's something which I'll never figure out. I remember there were also 2 bullies. Obviously, they don't go there anymore. 2 much older bullies who had me pinned up one of those swirly slide things, after my socks, to try and bully me. And That's the only other time I had a bad experience at Monsters. But I don't go there anymore. It was a very long time ago. Of course, everybody remembers going somewhere. Anyway, that's 1 hour gone, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. What was it, podcast 4? Yep, that's it, podcast 4. It's coming out Thursday, and I hope you all have a very good day or evening or whenever the fuck you're actually listening to this. And I guess I'll see you later. Good evening.